There comes a moment in every person's life when they look at themselves and whisper, "What happened to me?" Not out of shame, but out of longing. Longing for the fire, the connection, the intimacy that once felt effortless. If you've been carrying this quiet heaviness, feeling your desire slipping away no matter how much you wish it would return, please hear this: nothing about you is broken. Low libido isn't a verdict, it's a message. A message your body sends when it's overwhelmed, undernourished, overworked, or forgotten amidst life's chaos. And underneath that message is a truth: your desire is still alive, waiting for you to rediscover it. Science tells us that stress, hormones, sleep, circulation, and emotional weight all influence your passion. But your heart already knows this. When your spirit is drained, your intimacy dims. When your confidence drops, your connection suffers. Today, I want you to reclaim something powerful. Not just your libido, your identity, your energy, your sense of being alive. You deserve a life where touch feels electric, where desire flows naturally, where intimacy feels safe and exciting again. This journey isn't about going back, it's about Revitalize into a stronger, more awakened version of yourself. Low libido is often misunderstood as a flaw, a weakness, or a fading of one's worth. But the truth runs much deeper and far more compassionately. When desire begins to dim, it is rarely because something is wrong with you. It is because something inside you has been calling out for care, attention, and balance. Low libido is not a personal failure. It is a signal, a gentle warning light from your body and mind that they need support, nourishment, and restoration. And the most important truth of all is this: with the right physical and emotional support, your desire, your passion, and your connection to yourself can absolutely be revived. Your libido is not gone. It is waiting to be reawakened. Your body is a brilliant communicator. Every drop in motivation, every decline in energy, every moment where intimacy feels distant, is not a punishment. It is information. When stress builds, when hormones shift, when sleep becomes shallow, when your emotional world becomes heavy or neglected, your body responds. Libido is one of the first areas affected because desire requires safety, energy, and internal harmony to flourish. If any of his foundational pieces are missing, the body prioritizes survival, not sensuality. This doesn't make you weak, it makes you beautifully human. Low libido isn't a sign that your body is betraying you. It is showing you exactly where healing is needed. Think about how much you carry every day. Responsibilities, pressure, unspoken worries, the weight of expectations, the fear of not being enough, the exhaustion of constant giving and rarely receiving. These are not invisible forces. They drain your vitality, and when vitality drains, desire dims. Stress can disrupt hormones, tighten blood vessels, exhaust your nervous system, and dull your emotions. When your mind is overwhelmed, your body cannot enter the state required for desire. This isn't your fault, it is a natural response. When you begin to lighten your emotional load, even in small ways, the spark that felt lost slowly begins to return. Hormones also play a deeply influential role, and they fluctuate more than most people realize. Testosterone, estrogen, progesterone, cortisol, thyroid hormones, all of them communicate in a delicate rhythm to support desire, energy, and sexual function. When even one falls out of balance, libido follows. This is not a reflection of your strength, your aging, or your attractiveness. It is simply biology asking for support. With proper nutrition, movement, improved sleep, stress care, and sometimes medical guidance, hormonal balance can be restored, and with it, your natural desire. You are not at the mercy of your hormones. You can influence them more than you think. Your emotional environment plays an equally powerful role in revitalizing your libido. Desire cannot grow where there is self-doubt. Passion cannot thrive when you feel disconnected from your own identity. Intimacy can expand in a mind that feels judged, pressured, or ashamed. Many people lose their libido not because they've lost interest in their partner or in intimacy, but because they've lost their emotional connection to themselves. When you stop feeling confident, beautiful, worthy, or capable, The body RBR responds by withdrawing the instinct for pleasure. Emotional support therapy, meaningful conversations, personal reflection, or simply learning to be kinder to yourself can rebuild the trust and self-connection required for desire to awaken again. Physical support is just as essential. The body needs circulation, movement, strength, and nourishment. Good blood flow awakens sensations, supports arousal, and restores responsiveness. Exercise, even light movement, begins to re-energize the system that fuels desire. Proper nutrition stabilizes hormones. Hydration supports energy. Quality sleep reset your brain's ability to feel passion and excitement. None of these are dramatic overnight changes, but together, piece by piece, they create the internal harmony your libido has been waiting for. There is also a deeply compassionate truth many avoid acknowledging: past experiences, emotional wound or relationship strain can create internal barriers to desire. If intimacy has ever been paired with fear, discomfort, rejection, or pressure, the body remembers. These emotional imprints are not signs of weakness, they are signs of resilience. Your body protects you until it feels safe again. Embardi. With patience, emotional healing, communication, and gentle self-compassion, this protection can soften, allowing desire to rise again naturally. Healing low libido is not about forcing yourself to feel something you do not. It is about creating the internal conditions where desire can thrive. IBRN. It is about nurturing your nervous system, balancing your hormones, feeding your emotional needs, and rebuilding the confidence that life's challenges may have taken from you. It is about reconnecting with pleasure in all its forms: joy, touch, laughter, rest, creativity, and self-expression. As TBR Hesse return to your life, desire naturally follows because libido is not just a sexual function. It is a measure of how alive you feel. So, if you are struggling, let this truth give you strength. Nothing inside you is broken. Your desire is not gone, it is resting. And with the right support, physical, emotional, psychological, it can and will rise again. Your body is capable of profound renewal. Your heart is capable of rediscovering connection. Your energy can return in ways you may have forgotten were possible. Low libido is not the end of your story, it is the beginning of your healing. You deserve to feel alive again, powerful again, connected again, and you absolutely can. Hormonal health, stress levels, sleep, and circulation are not just scientific concepts tucked away in medical textbooks, they are the invisible forces shaping the very essence of your desire, your energy, and your ABR ability to feel alive in your body. When even one of these pillars wavers, your libido feels it. And when all four fall out of balance, desire retreats almost completely. But here is the empowering truth. These systems are not fixed or unchangeable. They respond beautifully and sometimes surprisingly quickly to the care you give them. Your natural desire is not lost. It is simply waiting for your body to find harmony again. Hormonal health is often the starting point in understanding shifts in libido because hormones act like the messengers of desire. Testosterone, estrogen, progesterone, thyroid hormones, and even insulin all influence how you feel, how much energy you have, and how responsive your body is to intimacy. When your hormones are balanced, desire feels natural, spontaneous, and alive. But when stress increases, when nutrition is poor, when movement is limited, or when age-related changes begin, hormone levels shift. This shift doesn't mean you are broken. It means your body is adapting to the environment you've been living in. Hormones respond to lifestyle, sleep quality, emotional health, and how well your body is nourished. Supporting your hormonal balance with better NBR nutrition, targeted supplements, movement, quality rest, and stress management can reignite desire in ways that feel almost miraculous. Stress is one of the most powerful suppressors of libido, not because desire disappears, but because stress signals the body to focus on survival, not pleasure. Cortisol, the primary stress hormone, directly interferes with the hormones responsible for intimacy and sexual function. When cortisol rises, testosterone often falls. When anxiety builds, blood flow decreases. When the mind is overwhelmed, the body cannot relax enough to feel desire or pleasure. This isn't weakness, it's biology, protecting you in times of perceived threat. You cannot be in a state of passion when your nervous system is fighting to stay afloat. But learning to reduce stress, even by small daily practices, can create massive shifts. Deep breathing, meditation, nature walks, la tebrar, connection, and mindful pauses throughout your day can lower cortisol and restore the nervous system's ability to support natural desire. Quality sleep is one of the most overlooked yet essential components of sexual health. When you sleep, your body resets and repairs, hormones regulate, the brain detoxifies, and your emotional system stabilizes. Lack of sleep disrupts testosterone production, destabilizes mood, increases stress hormones, and drains energy. Without energy, there can be no desire. Poor sleep slowly erodes passion, because intimacy requires both physical vitality and mental clarity. When you begin prioritizing your sleep by creating a calming nighttime routine, reducing screen exposure before bed, limiting caffeine late in the day, and ensuring your sleep environment is peaceful, you give your body the chance to restore itself. And as sleep improves, libido often follows naturally. Circulation is the lifeline of arousal. Good blood flow awakens sensations, fuels energy, supports the release of pleasure signals, and ensures that the body can respond the way it was designed to. When circulation is poor, desire may still exist in your mind, but your body cannot follow. This leads to frustration, confusion, and decreased sexual confidence. Improving circulation through movement, hydration, breathing exercises, and foods that support vascular health can make a profound difference. Even light exercise like walking, stretching, or gentle strength training can increase blood flow and revitalize the physical side of desire. Your body depends on circulation to bring warmth, sensation, and sensitivity back to life, and every step you take toward improving it strengthens your intimate well-being. When all four pillars, hormonal health, stress balance, sleep quality, and decirculation, begin working together, the transformation is powerful. Desire no longer feels forced or distant. Energy begins to rise. Confidence returns. Connection deepens. You start to feel like yourself again, sometimes even better than before. These changes are not quick fixes. They are the foundations of lasting sexual and emotional vitality. They create an environment inside your body where desire can thrive instead of struggle. It is easy to blame yourself when your libido decreases. It is easy to think something is wrong with you or assume age has taken away your spark permanently. But the deeper truth is far more hopeful. Your desire is directly connected to how well your body is being supported. When your hormones are stable, when your stress is manageable, when your sleep is restorative, and when your circulation is strong, your body naturally shifts back into a state of Revitalize. You don't have to chase desire. You simply have to create the conditions where desire can come home to you. So be gentle with yourself. Your lack of libido was never a failure. It was your body's way of whispering that it needed more care, more balance, more nourishment, more peace. And now, with awareness and intention, you have the power to restore every part of your intimate energy. Your body wants to feel alive. Your heart wants to feel connected. Your desire wants to rise again, and with the right support for your hormones, your stress levels, your sleep, and your circulation, it absolutely will. Intimacy improves when you reconnect with your body, rebuild self-confidence, and prioritize emotional well-being, because desire cannot flourish in a mind that feels distant from itself. Real intimacy begins long before touch, long before two bodies meet. It starts within you, in the quiver-et moments when you decide you are worthy of feeling good again, when you choose to rebuild the connection with your own body, your own emotions, and your own identity. When you stop treating your body like something to criticize and begin treating it like something to cherish, everything changes. Our energy shifts, your confidence lifts, and intimacy begins to feel natural and inviting instead of pressured or empty. Many people lose their desire not because the world around them has changed, but because somewhere along the way they disconnected from themselves. Stress, trauma, negative self-talk, body image concerns, or emotional exhaustion create a wall between who you are and how you feel. And when you stop feeling grounded in your own skin, intimacy becomes harder, not because you don't want it, but because you don't feel present enough to enjoy it. Reconnecting with your body is THBRE. First step toward healing this. It means slowing down, breathing deeply, touching your own skin with appreciation rather than judgment, moving in ways that make you feel alive, and allowing yourself to feel pleasure without guilt. When you rebuild the relationship you have with your own body, intimacy no longer feels like a performance. It becomes a natural extension of your inner harmony. Self-confidence is equally vital. When you don't believe in your own worth, desire becomes muted. When you feel insecure, disconnected, or ashamed, intimacy becomes something you avoid because it exposes THBRE parts of you wish you could hide. But confidence isn't about perfection. It's about acceptance. It's about looking at yourself with softer eyes, acknowledging everything you've overcome and recognizing the strength housed inside you. Confidence grows when you celebrate your progress, when you forgive yourself for past mistakes, and when you remember that intimacy is not about being flawless, it's about being present. As you rebuild your self-confidence, you begin to show up in your relationships with more authenticity, more passion, and more openness. And that creates a powerful shift in how intimacy feels. Prioritizing emotional well-being may be the most transformative part of this journey. Emotional weight is one of the strongest suppressors of desire. When your heart is heavy, your mind overwhelmed, or your spirit drained, your body simply cannot feel alive. You cannot create intimacy from a place of emotional depletion. Healing begins when you allow yourself to feel your emotions instead of burying them, when you talk about what hurts, when you express what you need, when you create space for joy, stillness, and reflection. Emotional well-being means giving yourself permission to rest, to breathe, to connect with your inner world. It means setting boundaries, nurturing your mental health, and spending time with people who uplift you. When your emotional foundation becomes steady, your body follows. Your desire returns because your heart finally feels safe. True intimacy is not just a physical act, it is an emotional exchange. It requires vulnerability, trust, and presence. And none of those are possible if you are disconnected from yourself. But as you begin restoring your emotional balance, you create an internal environment where intimacy feels warm instead of frightening, expansive instead of draining. You begin to crave connection, because it no longer feels like a burden, it feels like nourishment. Every small act of self-reconnection has a ripple effect. The more you listen to your body, the more you trust it, the more you appreciate your body, the MBR or confidence you feel. The more confidence you feel, the easier it becomes to express desire. The more emotionally aligned you become, the more naturally intimacy flows. These pieces work together like a symphony, each one amplifying the other, each one awakening the parts of you that were waiting quietly beneath the surface. There is a deep truth you must carry with you. Intimacy is not something you chase, it is something that grows from within. It grows from self-acceptance, self-awareness, and self-love. It grows when you treat your body with respect, when you speak to yourself with kindness, when you create a life that supports your emotional balance. It grows when you realize you are deserving of pleasure, connection, and joy not someday, but now. So allow yourself to come home to your body. Let yourself feel the quiet power of your breath, the strength in your posture, the warmth beneath your skin. Lift your confidence piece by piece, knowing that every step forward matters. Protect your emotional well-being like a sacred flame. And as you do, you will feel intimacy awakening again, not as a duty, not as a struggle, but as a natural expression of who you are becoming, someone alive, connected, confident, and deeply in tune with themselves. And now, as you stand at this turning point in your life, I want you to understand something powerful. Your desire, your energy, your passion. They were never gone. They were waiting for you to settle down, to breathe, to listen to your body, and to honor your emotional world. Waiting for you to rediscover the parts of yourself that life's pressure may have buried but never erased. You are not starting from zero. You are rising from experience, wisdom, and strength. Every step you take toward balance, every act of self-kindness, every moment you choose healing over self-criticism brings you closer to the vibrant, confident, connected version of yourself that still lives within you. Desire will return, intimacy will deepen, your energy will rise. Not because of luck, but because you chose to rebuild the foundation of your well-being. You chose to reconnect with your body, nurture your emotions, and honor your worth. This is your moment to reclaim your power. This is your moment to reignite the fire within. You deserve to feel alive again fully, freely, unapologetically. And the journey you've begun today is the beginning of a profound and beautiful transformation.